Really is. And I love your videos that you've been doing. You've been doing these vlogs where you like go to Walmart and pick up. You did one where you like picked up Casino Royale on 4K,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought that I think those are so fascinating because like I don't know. There's a lot of people that say are saying like, no, dude, it's streaming. That's all I need. I don't need all these Blu-rays. But you're very you're an advocate for buy Blu-rays. That's what I have, and I see a bunch of them behind you right now.
Yeah, those that's my nerd status symbol right there. That accreditates me as a guy who talks about movies. You have to have your movies. But the truth is, I probably watch the same 20 of them over and over again. The rest are just props at this point. But yeah, I am an advocate for like physical media. I don't think streaming has caught up to it yet as far as like picture quality, audio quality goes. And just the process, the journey of going to get that movie is fun to me. I like to go out, pick it up. It's like the gatherer hunter mentality, the caveman mentality. I still have it, except I'm not going out and killing fish and bringing them home. I'm going out to Walmart and buying a movie, and I like that process. I like physically holding the movie and putting it in there, and it's all about the experience to me. That's what it is. And but streaming, if there's a movie I love, I watch the physical copy because it's not compressed. The audio sounds good. The picture quality is good. On Netflix or Amazon Prime, it's like I can just see this compression in front of the image. It's like watching TV with saran wrap wrapped around the TV, and I can't do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I watch a shit ton of streaming and stuff like that because I'm sometimes just too lazy to physically put the movie in. But having the movies make me feel better. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and I totally get that because sometimes I'll still buy, like, sometimes I want to support an artist and they'll be like, hey, if you buy it now or whatever, we'll send you a CD and we'll sign it or a vinyl. And I have some, like, on my nerd shelf right here,
Nice.
like a Ninja Sex Party is one of them, Tupperware
Mm-hmm.
Remix Party. And I have, like, those signed. It just, like, felt good to hold it in my hands instead of, like, just listening to it on Spotify and giving them 3 cents for my listen instead of, $25.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the physical. You gotta hold it. You gotta cherish it. That's my thing. It's just sooner or later everything will be living on a digital platform, and it just feels so empty and hollow. And I'm not ready to let go just yet. Um, I'm a weirdo. Like I use a lot of technology to do what I do for a living, like cameras,
Mhm.
software, editing, but I don't even understand half of it. Like I just get lucky. I don't even know how things work, honestly. Like live streaming, I started doing weekly live stream shows a couple months ago, and to get those to look the way I wanted to took like 2 years of research to finally figure out how to encode software and have this image pop up when I needed it to pop up. And yeah, I'm definitely not that tech savvy. Yeah. What were we? What are we talking about right now? I
I was
forgot where
just
I was
talking
going with
about
that.
we were talking about like holding stuff in your hand
Yeah,
and not like
I
not
started going off
completely
on a
giving that up.
rampage about like
No, it's totally fine, dude.
my handicap technical abilities. Yeah.
But dude, that's awesome. I'm really worried about all these streaming platforms that are also coming out
Mhm.
because eventually it's just going to be like, well, it's going to be like having TV. Oh, let me flip to Disney Plus. Oh, let me go back to ABC Family Plus or whatever they're going to call it. So I I I don't always buy Blu-rays or physical stuff, but when I do, it just feels good, and I'm like, I gotta pop this in. So I totally get where you're coming from.
Oh, absolutely. And the other thing about streaming services, there's too many of them. Like at some
Exactly.
point you have to have 27 streaming services. You have to sign in at each one of them at different times and like set it all up, and they all have different content on them. Some of them have the same content, and it's just like it's becoming more of a hassle than anything, in my opinion. It's just like if you want to have a movie, here are your movies. You just pick those. And I'm here's where I'm truly weird. I get overwhelmed, and I'm very indecisive. When I have too many options, I end up picking nothing. But if you just give me like 300 movies, okay, I can pick one of those movies. So I'm just weird. Less is more to me, I suppose.
No, I totally get. I remember the movie rental store in my hometown. It was called Movie Magic, and it was attached to a pizza shop too. So
Oh yeah.
I remember like on the weekends, my mom would drive in and she'd be like, she order a pizza and she'd be like, okay, go pick out a movie or a video game or whatever. And I'd go in there for like as long as it took to make the pizza, and she'd be like, all right, you ready? And I'm like, I still don't know what I want. There's too many
Yeah.
options.
Oh, dude, I miss those days. I had something similar when I was growing up. I lived in this super small town. So get this, it was the pizza shop, it was the
Mhm.
video rental store, and it was the gas station all in one.
A gas station, that's
Yeah.
new.
Yeah, it was a combined super convenient store. And the gas station in Ohio, small town Ohio named Convoy, but it had
Mhm.
like a drive-through gas station. So you could pull up through like this port and like you could say what you want and they go in and grab it and come out and hand it to you in your car. So that I guess they were ahead of the curve before like that became a normal thing nowadays. But yeah, it was I always remember like I was allowed to pick out two movies. So I'd always get the same movies over and over. Like that was my guarantee, right? Like I'll rent Batman 1989 on VHS. But then I took a risk on the other movie. So like let's rent the 1980s classic Shocker. So yeah, that's how I discovered a lot of like bizarre weird movies just looking at the box art on the VHS and saying that looks cool. Let's take that home.
Me too, and there was a lot of them that, like, scared me. I remember I always, like, saw The Nightmare Before Christmas on the shelf in this one particular spot. For some reason, nobody ever rented it, but I always, like, saw it, and it always creeped me out the way it just looked, and I was like, "I don't wanna get that one."
Really?
My favorite memory from, like, movie rental stores, one time I went in wanting the Super Mario Brothers movie for some reason,
Ugh.
and and I went up to the cash register, and this guy, like, walked past me, and I go up and I'm like, "Hey, I can't find the Super Mario Brothers movie." And the store clerk was like, "Oh, that's because that guy just rented it." And the dude, like, turns around and hands it to me. He's like, "Here you go, kid." And I was
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
"Dude, thank you." So then I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie and for some reason loved it.
Oh, I was going to say then you got home and you were highly disappointed. What is this? A giant booger or something? Oh, John Leguizamo in that movie. Yeah, I always remember renting like Adam's Family over and over on VHS for some.
Really? It's a weird
Yeah,
thing to rent over and over.
yeah, well, yeah. You mentioned Nightmare Before Christmas, and it kind of has like that
Mhm,
same gothy look to it.
mhm.
But yeah, it was so weird. Some of the things you rent as a kid, or especially like some of the games you rent for like SNES.
Mhm.
Growing up, what did you play? SNES or
I grew up at the tail end of the SNES, sort of,
okay?
but I was mostly in the Nintendo 64 era.
Me too. I went from SNES to N64. I didn't get into PlayStation until I was like a teenager.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah. What was your favorite game on N64?
Oh, dude, mostly Mario 64 and Banjo-Kazooie and Super Smash Bros. I played the crap out of all 3 of those.
Nice, nice. I liked racing games for some reason. It was just like back to the thing I was saying. Like when you play like Mario in 64, and Kazooie, you can go too many places, and I just would get lost. And then I'm like, but a racing game, it's just like you go from the finish line or the
Yeah, the goal
starting
is
line to
clear.
yeah, you just get and cruising USA on N64. Like you get to
Yeah.
the finish line, there's like pixelated like hot chicks dancing like this with signs. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
I remember I played, I think it was Excitebike. There's a
Yeah,
64 version. That was a really cool game.
dude, I loved that game. I was actually gonna say that, but I didn't think you'd even know what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I used to build like my own tracks and do all the cool stunts. And I remember the one guy's name was like Nigel. I always picked Nigel. He was like a British motocross star or something.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember my dad bought it because my dad, like, his side thing was racing motorcycles, so he, like, got me that game, hoping I would get into motorcycles, and I kinda did,
Yeah, yeah.
but, then my dad broke his collarbone and
Ugh.
he stopped racing. But
Oh,
that's a
really?
completely different story. But is there, like, a cover from your childhood that kinda like The Nightmare Before Christmas that, like, scared you? Mine is Mars Attacks. That cover still haunts me to
Really?
this day.
Really? The movie haunts me because it's so bad, but like one
No,
of
the
Tim
cover
Burton's
is just
worst movies.
scary.
Yeah,
Like, just the eyes of the aliens.
I always just remember like the lady body with the little dog head.
Yeah, that was weird to me.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to remember like a cover that scared me though. There's probably some like B-rate horror film cover that always scared me. But yeah, I guess going back to like the Shocker cover, the 1980s horror film. Uh, have you ever seen Shocker?
No.
Okay, so it's this guy who's a cable TV repairman, and he's like a serial killer. So then he gets arrested and gets executed, but his spirit like lives inside of the cable boxes of people, and he starts like haunting people. And the ending climax to the movie is like him and this dude running through like different TV stations, chasing each other, trying to kill each other. It's bizarre. It's completely bizarre.
The cover, the movie poster looks like a comedy almost.
It does it. It should be a guy in like a convict suit.
Yeah, he's like in a convict suit.
In
I mean,
an
to me, it looks like a Jim Carrey. Like, kind of thing.
It looks like a Jim Carrey movie. See, to me, that looks terrifying. I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't know. Something about like capital punishment must have frightened me as a child or something. I don't know, man.
Was that your biggest fear?
Capital punishment? I mean, I guess if you get caught for your crimes, that's the price you pay. I don't know, man. Are we gonna get on a tangent about serial killers now? I don't know.